Daniel Craig and his dramatic transformation after leaving James Bond. Train 007, The Beginning and Glory. Daniel Craig once said that he never thought he would become James Bond. When he was cast as Agent 007 in the 2006 film Casino Royale, he faced a wave of fierce opposition from loyal fans of the series. They said he was not handsome enough, not elegant enough, and did not have the typical Bond demeanor. But Daniel Craig responded to all of that with action. With his muscular body, sharp eyes and introspective acting style, Craig redefined the image of James Bond, no longer a perfect man without flaws, but a man with depth, a past, and suffering. The success of Casino Royale proved that the producer's choice was correct. Craig then went on to play Bond in Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre and finally No Time to Die. During his 15 years as James Bond, Craig brought a modern Bond image, strong but also vulnerable, bold but also loving. In particular, Skyfall and No Time to Die were not only commercially successful but also highly appreciated for their artistic quality, turning Craig into an irreplaceable icon in the hearts of fans. Closing a chapter, opening a new year. Saying goodbye to the role of Bond was not easy. In an emotional interview after filming the last scene of No Time to Die, Craig choked up, "I gave everything to this role, but it's time to leave." He did not just leave the role, but also gave up a part of his life. After 15 years of association, Craig decided to step out of the giant shadow of 007 to find himself again. When the flashy lights of Bond are turned off, people wonder, what will Daniel Craig do next? Perhaps, the first thing he will do is not to take on another big role, but to rest, both physically and mentally. He spends more time with his family, with his young daughter, with his wife, actress Rachel Weisz. They go for walks in the park together, have lunch together at small restaurants, and live a peaceful life that he was always busy missing out on. Journey to explore art and personal identity. After a break, Daniel Craig began to look for new projects, not for fame or money, but for his passion for art. He wanted to challenge himself in different roles, completely contrary to the image of a cold spy. One of his first notable roles after Bond was Detective Benoit Blanc in the Knives Out series. In contrast to Bond, Benoit Blanc is a humorous, mischievous person with a Southern American accent and an eccentric investigative style. It was this role that helped Craig prove to the public that he was not confined to the Bond image. Knives Out was a huge success and was nominated for many awards, giving Craig even more motivation to continue his diverse film career. In the second part, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, Craig continued to show his charm and intelligence, affirming himself as one of the most versatile actors today. Bold moves, when Daniel Craig dares to go against stereotypes. Not only stopping at detective films, Daniel Craig continues to shock when taking on the main role in the film Queer by director Luca Guadagnino. This is a film with a gay theme, exploring the complex psychology of the character William Lee, a man living in Mexico City in the 1950s, lost and alone between addiction and tormented relationships. Craig shared that this was one of the most difficult roles he had ever played. He had to read a series of documents, memoirs, and even live for weeks in a deserted area to understand the character's psychology. But what made him feel the most meaningful was when he realized, the role was not to shock, but to tell a story that needed to be told. Craig's courage has been highly appreciated by the international film community. The fact that an actor who once played one of the world's most iconic masculine figures has accepted to play a gay character shows the maturity in his thinking and the artistic freedom he is pursuing. Stage career, back to the roots. Few people know that before becoming a famous film actor, Daniel Craig was a promising stage actor. After leaving Bond, he decided to return to Broadway, where he had affirmed his talent in the early years of his career. Shakespeare's play Macbeth was an extremely difficult challenge, and Craig accepted it with all his passion. On stage, he portrayed the character's complex inner transformation, touching the audience's emotions with his eyes, voice and even silences. Critics called him a storyteller with body and soul. Rebirth, When a Career is Not Just a Role. Not stopping at acting, Daniel Craig also started to try his hand at the role of a producer. He participated in the production of independent films, supporting young directors and scripts which teach many humane messages. "I don't want to just be an actor," he says. "I want to create a space for art to live, to grow, to experiment." Craig is also active in social activities. He is an ambassador for charities that support poor children and people with disabilities, and he actively fights for LGBTQ+ rights, something that is unexpected from someone who once represented the hypermasculine image of James Bond.